Oh, if he had his way, he would.
We're
live.
No.
We're live.
No. Okay. When do we know if people have joined us?
Well, we just start talking. We'll see people in this chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right on the top. I don't know what.
I think we're live.
Yeah, we're live. See?
Okay.
And here. This is to wait for people to join the room. If you happen to join in, make sure you drop us a chat so we know that you're here.
Yeah.
I know Chris at Disney World Adventures is still hosting a show right now. I think he's on with Rob Fuzz and Steve's World. Does this need to be on Steve's World?
I have a big white spot right here.
Try turning it off. Let's see what you think. Because we've got the light on just in case to see what it's like.
We don't need it so screamy, don't we?
Well, I don't know. Let's check it out. See how that is.
I can see it fine, Doug. Yeah.
Do we need that over there?
I don't know. Turn it off. Let's see what happens.
Or can it?
Yep, I think it's dark.
It's a little dark for you guys now. You need at least one of them on.
Can't you put it off to the side? Can you? Yeah, do that.
Okay, this is going to be fun on the rebroadcast. Those of you who are watching this on a rebroadcast, enjoy the comedy.
We're just adjusting the lighting.
Yeah, we're not blown out. We should probably have it shot right there so it's coming.
Yeah, we do need to get like a ring light or something above us.
Is anyone out there? We would love to talk with you.
We'll give them do a countdown of 2 more minutes, and then we'll just start recording, and people are just going to have to do this as
okay.
a redo.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Is it recording or is it?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay. Well, do you want to start talking about the topic that you've selected for tonight?
Well, sure. Tonight we've decided to talk about Disney extinct attractions.
Okay.
Those attractions that we have personally experienced. It could be in California, could be in Florida. Whatever you like. Whatever you want to talk about.
It could be parks. I'm going to dabble with extinct shows and parades. I mean, that's kind of, but we want attractions more than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So it's a little bit of anything, and it could be, stuff you're still mourning that, why did they go away? Why is it gone?
Well, I know why my show went away, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, others are.
Which show was that, Ben? Oh,
yeah,
you
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have yours, and then it's like, oh God, goodbye, good riddance. It was like so happy that it went away. So that's kind of it's attractions we didn't care about, and other times it's gonna be. It could be embedded for history. You don't care about change.
But we probably should introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Welcome to PTV. PTV Live, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Every Thursday night at 7 Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time, we'll be sitting here talking about all things Disney, cooking, baking, and at the appropriate time, Christmas.
Yes.
But we'll be focusing on Disney tonight. And that's going to be, again, the extinct attractions that Disney has had in their history. So why don't we introduce ourselves?
I'm Doug.
And I'm Arnie. And then also on the stream is my twin brother.
Hey, I'm Ben.
Oh, good. Okay. So
I'm going to start off with my goodbye, good riddance, that it was horrible, and I'm very grateful that I got to experience it, was Superstar Limo. It was a horrible attraction.
Shall we start with Superstar Limo, or let's
let's
wait to discuss that one?
Okay,
There are
he
a lot of
wants-
people
yeah,
on the chat.
Okay.
Because I'd really like to see
Okay, we won't start
how
with
many people that come into the stream experienced
Yeah, we need the chatting.
the awesomeness of Superstar Limo.
Oh, it was amazing to have experience, and that we have the experience to do that. So let's start with shows, because obviously attractions are going to be a little bit more until people come. Shows that I mourn, that it could go on and on. But technically, now that I think about it, it is going on in this day, and it's exactly like the parade is Lion King, because it's the Lion King Festival. So technically speaking, the parade is still going on.
The Lion King celebration.
That was pretty. That was the best parade ever.
I remember seeing that in Town Square. I sat directly across from the Main Street train station, and I was by myself, sat down on the curb, and watched. Gosh, that must have been July of 1994. I think you were at the office, Ben. I was visiting you on a trip to Southern California.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When did you see it, Ben? If you were down there, did you see it before him?
Oh yeah, I think I saw it opening weekend. It was like June of 1994, just about the time the movie was released.
Yeah, they wasted no time in promoting The Lion King, which was very nice to see, because The Lion King was supposedly not supposed to be their runaway hit of the decade. That was supposed to be Pocahontas.
Yep.
Well, a lot of the Imagineers who worked on, or the animators who worked on Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin left, and they said, okay, the next big thing that's going to be the biggest thing ever is going to be Pocahontas. And all the kind of third level animators worked on Lion King. And a lot of them didn't want to do it. It was a status thing, because the status of working on Pocahontas was really big. The reason why I know that firsthand is the Mulan event. I went in September of '98. They talked to the animators talked about that. There was a lot of them did not want to touch Lion King. It was not one of the things that they wanted to ever be associated with. And now I come to find out that's not how that changed to be.
Well, the Lion King celebration was very different at the time, because from what I understand, they had never really done like a start and stop parade where they had the things traveling down the parade route and then it would just stop and perform a show. Can anyone remember anything before the Lion King celebration that did that?
I think the only one that I can think of would probably be the Party Gras.
It did.
Oh, right.
Party Gras.
I forgot about that.
Giant balloons.
But that was in the days before I could afford to go all the time, and that's right. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, Party Gras celebrating the 35th anniversary, 35 years of magic at Disneyland.
Yep.
Then 1990.
Yeah. Wow, that was great. I really liked that parade. I remember they would chuck coins and bead just like a Mardi Gras parade.
I was still in college. Arnie had graduated the year before in '89, and I was going to be finishing up in spring of 1990. Spring break, Arnie took me down there as a present because he wanted to make me feel better, because we were both a little down. Our father had passed away a year prior, and he was trying to get me into a good mood, and we went down there. We saw Phantom, and we went to Disneyland, and we saw the Party Gras parade. And the big balloons definitely had an impact on us.
I didn't get the grace of ever experiencing anything. The only 80s that I ever did was really short and sweet, was July of 1987.
That was your first time at Disneyland.
Yeah. Are we live? I want to make sure we're live.
Yeah. Start Hangout on air.
So just keep talking. I'm just checking here.
Okay.
So yeah, and the really weird thing is I kept a diary for the whole year of 1987. And years later, I happened to go through it. And it was the year I knew that we went to Disneyland. But I did not know the first day I ever stepped. Sorry.
Okay, we are live.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I'm not seeing any group chat over here on the side. Sorry, everyone. I have not even seen people that have been joining us. But my apologies.
What is?
Gonna look at. I got to figure this out. This is our first time going live.
Yeah,
with,
we have nobody
with Hangouts on air. But we have a lot of people here. I see Lonnie Stepp. Thank you so much for joining us. Jelly's Journeys. Jack Sandy Claus Logan. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who else. Rob Fuzz. Hey, how you doing? I got to see this.
We're gonna check this out if we can do.
Yeah,
this.
I got to get it better at this.
Yeah. Anyways, so the diary that I kept for 1987, and again, I was 13 years old. I look back at it years and years later, and I happened to see it. And the first time I ever walked into Disneyland was July 17th, not knowing any of the real history, even though I wanted to always go. I'll tell you about all of our first times ever going to Disneyland a little bit later. But it just kind of was serendipitous that my first time ever going to Disneyland was in July 17th of 1987. They did nothing. So it's not like I would know that there was a birthday because they didn't do anything at that time. So it was just a day we went as a family. So that's the only 1980s I know of Disneyland. So you guys did the 90s of Party Gras.
Ben, go ahead and take over. And by the way, let me go ahead and say hello to some more people here. We have Jelly's Journeys in the chat. We also have Rob Fuzz. Rob, thank you so much for joining us. Mickey's Magic, I see here, as well as Donna Jaworski, Steve's World, Jedi's here, AJC Magic TV. Thanks for joining us. Steve's World, awesome. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, we don't know how this thing works.
How are we? We're missing conversations here. What's going on?
Well, the conversation I'm seeing is on
the
just
YouTube.
on the phone right here on YouTube, but for some reason it's not showing up in the Hangouts. I'm hoping someone would be able to explain that to me, and maybe we can get this corrected.
Yeah. But anyways, that was my 80s, and you guys go back to the dawn of time. So we were talking about parades.
Dawn of Time?
Yeah, come on. You guys went to Disneyland when Walt was still around.
No, that's true.
Don't give me that.
Technically, yes, but we were babies at that time.
Okay. I thought I was never going to go. To me, going to Disneyland was like shooting for the moon.
Hey, Disney World Adventures.
And then Walt Disney World was like never going to happen until I went. And
hey, Texas Takes, nice. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Okay. So anyway, what we were discussing here is
extinct attractions.
Yeah, extinct Disney attractions that we've personally experienced.
And we started out with like shows and parades. I want to just dabble into some of that. So
yeah.
But we started off talking about the one Goodbye Good Riddance, kind of one that we were around for such a short period of time that a lot of people still to this day, if they have a time machine, they would go back in time because they want to go on that attraction because they've heard so much about it. It's such a ensconced in Disney history of being the worst attraction ever. And we could vouch for it because we were on it. Is Superstar Limo at DCA or California Adventure. So yeah, we have stories about that attraction and it's all true. It is absolutely all true.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I was just told in the chat stream that this is the right way to do this because the Google chat system will not show our stream as we're doing it. Rob, I'm gonna have to have a little conversation with you and see how you do your little setup because when you're streaming, it looks fantastic, and I love the fact that you're able to interact with everyone. So we'll talk offline about that one.
Yeah,
but let's go on. Let's see.
So Superstar Limo, it was just done horribly. We're going to send links to everybody about the history of it. I'm not going to go any about it because there's like 3 other people that did half-hour specials or 20-minute specials about the history of making, why it got pared down, and why we got what we did. But it was a horrible attraction.
Yeah, I went on Superstar Limo 4.5 times.
I was 4.5 times also.
And if you ask about the half, the reason why it was half was because the ride broke down. We had to be evacuated.
And where did you get broken down at?
It was July of 2001.
No, but what area?
The room where I think it was where Cher was.
I knew you were going to say Cher.
Yeah, you were with. I guess you were with.
No,
that-
no. We were not in the same.
No.
Mine did it where there was a giant Hollywood sign. I was with my mom. It was actually pass holder preview in January. It was like a week or two before the park opened. And we were on it, and then it died. And we were in the room that was really open, and it had Jim Carrey in it.
Ugh.
He was like, it was horrible. So we walked out, and we were probably a little way halfway through. And then as we were walking out, we got exited out. My mom was with us, and she just says, "That was stupid." And your mom tried to be like really cool about it, but she didn't get it. And she even said it was just like, "Oh, that was stupid." And I'm like, well, maybe there was something to it. We'll go on it again.
Yeah.
And then I went on it opening day.
I was with a group of friends that summer that we went on middle of July. It was hot, not quite humid because Southern California really doesn't get too humid. But I just remember the ride breaking down in the area where Cher was, and we were evacuated. And my friends turned to me and says, "Do we have to go on that again?" I said, "Yeah, I want to make sure that we finish it so you can actually see the whole attraction, because yeah, it really doesn't get any better. But still, the concept of sitting in a limousine trying to get to your premiere and having the paparazzi supposedly chase you didn't quite work out the way they wanted to."
And then they made everything very caricature, like those old 19 Hollywood diners were the characters of famous Hollywood studios. Well, they made them into animatronics, and they were just horrible. They were just horrible.
I wouldn't even call them animatronics because they were so static.
They were
very static.
They were kind of 3D, but some of them had like movements, so they looked all jerky. And then when they didn't talk, because a lot of them barely even had their mouth closed. And that one room when you walk around the TV screens, if you go to the Monsters attraction in the queue, Joan Rivers was staring and screaming at you about the paparazzi and that you're going to your premiere. And Joan Rivers was horrible. Oh.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It was actually very scary to go into the queue and have her almost screaming at you on the television monitors.
And then that creepy guy in the little screen in the car. Again, when you go to Monsters Inc. and
the agent. He was the talent
greasy,
agent. Greasy troll. It was really
troll.
bad.
It was really bad. I mean, and then they kept the layout. They reskinned it. Monsters is actually an amazing attraction. But I go in there and I can't help but think a lot of it is Superstar Limo.
For those of you on the East Coast, if you've ever come out to Disneyland Resort and have seen Monsters Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue, that is the same building where Superstar Limo was. They just painted the vehicles, rethemed all the characters inside. As a matter of fact, all of the characters are now members of the DCA, I believe. Not on the DCA, it's what is it? The decontamination?
Oh yeah, a lot of them did go into there. They talked about the audio animatronics as Monster, what they used to be, and this is in a lot of these theater, these videos that were done by Mark of Yesterworld and I think Defunct Land, Kevin Perger. I'm trying to think of some other people, but
now
they did beautiful histories on it. I'm not going to go into it.
Now, those of you in the stream, could you tell me? Monsters Inc. I've seen a couple of times, so I'm not remembering the name of those characters. Does anyone remember the names of those characters that do the decontamination? They wear their yellow suits and the whole bit. Those are the characters that you see throughout the attraction. But I must say, Monsters is a much better attraction.
Monsters is great, and it has everything in it. So
what's next?
That was my next one that was Goodbye. That now I'm going to go to that I mourn. That I really, really mourn. And it was good, and it still exists technically, is the People Mover at Disneyland. Seeing it static and decay, it just
Ben, what's on the wall behind you?
Oh, up here?
Yes.
This is it's a print of the People Mover from Disneyland, done in a kind of a mod kind of thing.
Mid-century modern. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I saw it on the wall at the Wonderland Gallery at Downtown Disney, and I saw it and I went, I must have it. And I rarely do that with artwork. And the two pieces of artwork that I have here on my walls behind me it's the limited amount of Disney artwork that I have in my room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of those things that spoke to me, and
What's
I'm
your fond
fairly.
memory? What is your fond memory on that? And you probably went on it quite a few times, but what is your
Uh,
distinct memory?
I just remember being super, super tired at the end of a night. My feet were killing me, and I would go on the ramps that led up to the People Mover station and run my feet on the sides of the ramps so that my feet would get a nice massage from the rollers that would take the belts up the ramp.
I would do the same thing. We do the same thing at the exit of Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
but taking a 17-minute ride, it felt like 17 minutes. Was it about that?
It was between 12 and 17 minutes, somewhere around there. But yeah, it was a great attraction. Went all the way through Tomorrowland, just like it does in Magic Kingdom as the TTA. But it's
But you
not,
have the monorail over it. You're over the subs. You're going through trees and everything like that. I mean, the
Yeah.
one in the Magic Kingdom's cool,
TTA is
but
always undercover. I imagine that's because of the rain.
Rain.
That's very frequent. But and they had no canopies over. The ones in Disneyland had canopies overhead so that you'd be shaded from the sun when it goes out and about. But when it leaves the building outside what used to be Carousel Progress and then America Sings, and that's another attraction I love, it would go down a ramp out into an area that was over the submarine lagoon.
yeah.
And then
just to give
also
you a little tidbit on
over the
that,
Utopia.
that was the People Mover that can go up, and then it kind of went down when you got out of the Space Mountain area. The Magic Kingdom is all flat. There's no hills.
But that's because of the driving system. It's
Yeah,
an
the driving.
electromagnetic system in
But
Florida.
Disneyland
Disneyland had tires to drive it, which
Yeah.
was why it was originally sponsored by Goodyear.
Yeah, so that's why I like the Disneyland one. I mean, the Magic Kingdom's great, and I still go on it when we do go back. But that made it so set, and it was all open. It wasn't covered or anything like that. So we mourn the People Mover and just see it in decay. That poor little land at Disneyland needs a lot of loving.
Yeah.
It needs some love.
For a lot of us, the People Mover is sorely missed. I'm still sad to see the tracks there. And the ride that replaced it eventually was the Rocket Rods.
That was the next one. I want to tell you about the Rocket Rods. We got to experience it. Again, very short time. I think I was on it. It was so impossible to get on it. I think I went on it maybe 3 or 2 times. It wasn't really much because you had to go down there a lot. And then when you were down there, it was only like 3-4 hour wait. I mean, we're not exaggerating at all. And that was before Fast Pass. Was Rocket Rods, because that was 1998 into 1999.
1998, May of 98, they dedicated the new Tomorrowland, which amounted to nothing more than a little bit of paint. And they desecrated Space Mountain with an awful paint job. Finally, they repainted it back to Space Mountain White, which is the correct color for the mountain in California, like it is in Florida.
So Rocket Rods, the 2-3 times that I know I went on it vividly, it was cool.
Okay.
It was really a cool attraction, but you just knew.
Jensen Henson, thanks for joining the chat. And Zippity Doodad, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And let's see, Zippity Doodad. Yep. Oh, and D&G Explorers, they rode it maybe 7 times. They loved Rocket Rods.
Okay.
Okay.
I loved it. It was just one of those. Did you get what I call bang for your buck? Meaning the amount of time that you waited into that attraction? Did you get it on the in the attraction for the wait? It was very close. You wish you didn't have to wait for something long just to go beep, 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 and then you zip around. And it was so fast. So,
and unfortunately, the tracks weren't designed for the vehicles to go fast because they were using the existing People Mover track. They were supposed to bank the turns, but due to the loss of a sponsor on the attraction, they lost a lot of money on that. So they had to work within a certain budget and could not fix the tracks the way they wanted to. So they had to slow the vehicles down just as they were getting fast. And unfortunately, they ran into a lot of problems. So the ride broke down quite a bit.
Yeah, it was hydraulic. Hoses would fly out and squirt all over. And sometimes it'd squirt on people below there when you walk into Tomorrowland. So yeah, for bang for your buck, the amount of wait you had to do for that amount of that type of attraction, It's not that it was a disappointment. I just wish it went wherever. It's like I waited 2-3 hours and then I went on that, and it's like, ugh. So that was it. So how many times do you think you went on that?
I went on the Rocket Rods probably about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like
It wasn't very much
because of the amount of wait.
Yeah,
It was
the
just
time that you
horrible.
had to wait was like 2 to 3 hours, and the wait was hard. You'd wait outside a lot, and then you'd go into the building that used to be Circle Vision, another attraction that I really miss.
Yeah, you more than that.
They had American Journeys in Tomorrowland, and then they converted that into a waiting queue for Rocket Rods. Then you'd go through the backside through a long line, and then you hit an area where then you'd go down some stairs, go underneath the path that was walking above in Tomorrowland, and then you'd walk up a set of stairs up the center of what is now where the launching pad is, say in Florida at Magic Kingdom. That's where it is because it's the Astro Orbiter that's up in the air. They moved what used to be the rocket jets out to the front of Tomorrowland, and then converted what used to be the rocket jets into something called the Observatron.
It was some kinetic thing. It could have been a lot better if Disneyland 2055. There's a lot of history on that.
You used to walk up a set of stairs up the center to get to what used to be the station for People Mover that they converted into the Rocket Rod station. And it was just a very difficult attraction to wait for.
Yeah,
because it was so short, and it just wasn't worth the wait.
It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was absolutely cool. Ben, how many times did you think you went on there?
Okay, I missed something there. Zippity,
like 2 or 3 times. But for me, the one thing I remember was the weird configuration of the cars where they had 5 people in the cars. It was 1 person in the front, 2 people in the second row, and 2 people in the back. And
no, it wasn't even that way. It was 3 singles and then a double in the back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
just an awkward configuration.
Yeah, it
was so high back because when they jerk you, you were in the seat, so you couldn't see much ahead of you. You had to look at your side because in front of you was a giant chair. So if you wanted to get the full experience, you had to sit in the front.
Imagine sitting for something like PhilharMagic or Fantasmic, and all you see is just a chair in front of you.
A big board. So you only got the side peripheral vision because you needed to sit like this, like my bed desk chair. That's what this is like. So we can go on and on about the Rocket Rods, but that's pretty much mine. A lot of people said they've been on it when it's broken because it constantly was breaking down. But that was the Rocket Rods on that. So whether at Disneyland that I kind of think. Skyway, I think I was on it twice, maybe once.
Yeah.
Because I only went in the early 90s and I didn't get to go on the Skyway. But yeah, I think that was kind of cool. It's coming back into Walt Disney World. I call it the Skyway Walt Disney World. So it's going to be used as public transportation. But
yeah.
I would have to say
the monorail's treated the same way. I mean, it's not a ride like it is at Disneyland.
Right, exactly.
It's an attraction.
It's an attraction at Disneyland.
You don't use that. So that was Skyway. Probably, I know I went on it once vividly in '93.
Shep family, thanks for joining us on the stream. Really appreciate you being here. Oh, by the way, when you're thinking about it, don't forget to smash that like button when you're in and out of the stream. I really appreciate it. That really helps us.
We want to see little hearts. If anybody's seen, what's that, Wreck-It Ralph? More hearts that get popped up.
Oh, that's right. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
That was actually done. Beautiful. That was a great movie.
Arvine to Disney has joined us too. Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arvine. Great to have you here. Okay, so what's next on your list?
No, yours is Skyway. And
Skyway?
I can't really say much about it. I know it was like 93 or 94.
I'll talk a little about the Skyway. My brother, Ben, he started a job in March of 94, I think.
Yeah.
And you moved to Orange County. And after a few months, I decided to go ahead and help him out, share the rent in Southern California. We're about 10 minutes south of Disneyland in Orange County. And we had a great time living down there for 3 years. But while we were there, Disneyland went through some major things. One of them was we lost the Skyway. And there were a lot of rumors as to why it closed. But I remember being there the last day that it ran. and I went on it a few times. I wasn't the last person on. The last person on the Skyway at Disneyland was Mickey Mouse, and he took a solo trip. Everyone else was out of the stations, and then Mickey was allowed to go by himself along the path from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland, and that was it. I went back to Disneyland the next day, and lo and behold, the stations were blocked with boxes with plants in them. All the signage was gone. Even the towers and the wire were gone. They removed the towers from Tomorrowland, and there was another one in Fantasyland, which was right in the middle of the queue of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And they made it just a planter, and it looks like it had always been designed that way. But the thing is that it was gone. As soon as they said it was going to be dismantled, it was gone.
It was gone.
And they made it look like it had never been there, with the exceptions of the holes through the Matterhorn Mountain.
If you look through, there's a teacup handle in the Matterhorn, sculpted.
Oh, D&G, they never had the chance to go on the ride. Yeah, you know what? Although it's called the Skyliner that they're building in Florida,
I will never call it that.
To us, it'll always be the Skyway.
Let's take the Skyway back to the hotel or whatever. I refuse to call it because it's the Skyway. It's kind of full circle. They get rid of something, they bring it back and use it for real transportation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Skyway, it was good. It was a carny kind of thing. I like it gone because I think the sightline for Disneyland's better. I know like some people like to go over it and see stuff very aerial, just like Google Earth now. It was Google Earth at the time. And but I'm glad it can go. So that's another one. Goodbye. I guess good riddance. I don't really care.
I don't know what the protocol is, but I believe that burps, when we're doing live stream, that burps are sponsored by D&G Explorers.
Yeah, I got to find out why that happened.
So
why Derek and Gregory's burps, all of our burps are
so sorry, that
sponsored.
burp was sponsored by D&G Explorers.
Coughing, who's sponsoring our coughing. So Ben, what's your history of Skyway? What's your memorable moment?
It was fun to go through the Matterhorn.
That was it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, when you go through the Matterhorn, you actually got to see Harold, which is the name of the abominable snowman inside the Matterhorn.
So that was Skyway. Nothing to add for that, Ben? Not to keep this moving along.
D&G says thanks.
Okay. The other one...
Eileen, thanks for joining the chat. Yeah, we're doing great. Thanks for joining.
So the other one of Disneyland that I would have to say that I kind of mourn, but again, I have to travel 3,000 miles to go to, is Country Bear.
I will join you on that. And I missed the original show, which I understand is in Florida, but for years and years, California only had the Vacation Hoedown version of the show, which was never my favorite version of the show. That was the third version of Country Bears, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. First was the original, of course. Then they had the Country Bear Christmas special.
And that is the very first they ever did an overlay of anything in the history of all attractions.
I think at Disneyland that was the first overlay they did. Now, if you go at Christmas time, they overlay like 4 or 5 attractions. It's wonderful, especially for the locals, because Disneyland is a place for Southern California locals. You get a lot of people from overseas and a lot of people from out of town, but they really cater to the local pass holders.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting to the point where they were...
Hey, touring the galaxy! The galaxy has arrived. Thank you, Pod Squad. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. So, yeah, Country Bears, sad. Got Pooh. I don't think is great. I love Winnie the Pooh, but I thought that was stupid is you had to take out something to put something in. That was back in the era, the early 2000s.
Yeah, he goes back to the 90s. He goes back to the 90s when they started changing all of even the merchandise in the store, where I actually saw plush under glass where they used to have jewelry and watches. Mm-hmm. It was very sad time.
I had a good friend who still mourns the loss of the antique shop in New Orleans Square in favor of selling more Disney merchandise.
The one-of-a-kind shop. It's now if you go in, it's just right next to the what is the name of the restaurant right outside the Pirates of the Caribbean entrance?
That's the Blue Bayou.
No. It's that's the exit. The entrance where you usually buy clam chowder and things.
Oh, Port Orleans. It's the port.
No. It's the
No.
small
It's in the small one.
It's a small window. They do counter service. You buy some clam chowder. You get other
Yes, the
soups
next
in there.
over. It's now the
But right next to that is a shop that used to be the one
Nightmare
behind.
Yeah, it's the Nightmare Before Christmas shop now.
Exactly.
It's the Nightmare Before Christmas, which I love. That's a whole nother story, another live feed.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Then we went on ad nauseum talking about Superstar Limo, which we can go on forever. Now I'm going to go to California Adventure. My extinct one that I kind of know that is extinct that I think is cool. I like the California version of Soaring Over California. The world is great, but being part of the opening of California Adventure, doing the pass holder preview, and being at the park and doing that, it's a really fun story that we share. I will always remember how wonderful we went on that. And then when I went into another event in 2001 in October, I got to sit and have snacks with 3 of the Imagineers who worked on Soaring Over California. That was back in October of 2001. They explained how that went. They knew they had a hit, but they didn't. Again, they didn't think it was going to be that popular. And I love the California version of it.
Yeah, so. California. It was really nice. I still remember smelling the citrus, going over the groves and was it Camarillo, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
The ocean breeze that you'd smell when you flew over Monterey Bay.
I love California, being in California.
I do miss that.
Land is nice, but it doesn't fit it doesn't fit into California Adventure, so that's why I thought. And rumor had it when they were going to do it is since there was 2 theaters, one was going to be California, Soaring Over California, there was going to be Soaring Over the Land or the World, and but that was a nice rumor that I thought was going to work.
By the way, for those of you that are watching in the stream, if you have any specific extinct attraction from any park here in America, whether it be Epcot or the studios, even Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, go ahead and list those in so that we can start discussing them as well.
So another extincty thingy would be, just because they're extinct, I had no love for them, and we had it all videotaped, and we did a big thing weeks before it left, is the cheap carny rides at Bugland. I mean, they were fun. Now, Ben, you have a story about the opening of Bugs Land, don't you?
Lonnie,
that's right. That's right.
You were there for the...
I was there opening weekend.
Thanks for being here. Lonnie says that he misses Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we were going to get to that, but since, I think I went on it maybe once, if I can ever remember. And since we have it at Disneyland, I just don't.
I've got breaking news here. According to Touring the Galaxy, he's the 400th sub for our channel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, that's awesome.
It helps PTV. Thank you so much.
We're growing. We need it. We're still chug-a-lugging right along.
A couple of minutes ago, D&G said that they were also there at the grand opening of GCA.
Oh, fantastic!
They were.
Awesome. They missed Golden Dreams. That, for those of you that don't know,
I was going to bring up the Golden Dreams.
Golden Dreams was supposed to be something similar to the American Adventure, but about the state of California. But due to budget constraints and the fact that at that point the park... this goes back a bit. In '97, when they were designing California Adventure and they finally announced it, they talked about different attractions, and then things got pared back because of budget cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the park finally opened, there were so many movie screens that we started calling the place Pressler's Multiplex. Paul Pressler was the president of Disneyland when the resort was expanding and putting in Downtown Disney and California Adventure. And Paul was also in charge of all the purse strings for the park. So we blame Paul Pressler for the excessive amounts of restaurants and stores and the lack of attractions when the park opened.
The Imagineers never worked on it.
Right. It was all designed by marketing.
It was all marketing and entertainment actually designed that park. People don't know that. I mean, Imagineer had to get into it, but who actually conceptualized the park was 100% marketing and entertainment.
Yeah.
That's why the park turned out to be.
Jelly's Journeys remembers Snow White's Scary Adventures in Magic Kingdom. I liked it. I actually liked that it was longer than the one in Disneyland. It's still in Disneyland, but it was longer, and it actually showed an ending. So you saw the prince, and you saw Snow White, and they were happily ever after.
But I want to hear Ben's story about the green carpet of the opening of Bugs Land.
That's right. The opening was a green carpet. Instead of a red carpet experience, they had all the B and C celebrities that Disney could wrangle from ABC and their subsidiaries. And the one thing I do remember was seeing Cloris Leachman walking through. Now, for those of you who don't know who Cloris Leachman is, I first saw her in the 1970s sitcom, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. She played one of the funnier side characters in Young Frankenstein. I think she was most recently a grandmother on a sitcom on Fox. What was the name of that show?
Malcolm in the Middle?
No. It was some funky show that was only on for about 4 seasons or so. The woman who was one of the stars of the Real O'Neills was in that show too.
The baby and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
Anyway, Cloris Leachman was invited to the premiere of A Bug's Land, and she was walking by, and I rarely get starstruck. I'm very, very blasé about people, but when I saw her, I came unglued because she'd been an idol of mine since she played Phyllis Lindstrom on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So I yell at her. I go, "I love you, Cloris!" And she ran right over to me, gave me a huge hug, and she wanted to stay with me and get pictures taken with me and her instead of going on with what she was supposed to be doing.
You called her Cloris Leachman and not Phyllis Diller or Phyllis
Lindstrom.
Why didn't you call her Phyllis Lindstrom?
Because Phyllis Lindstrom was not her name.
Stormin Kandasi says that I liked Cloris Leachman in High Anxiety, and Jensen Henson also loves Cloris.
Oh my gosh, Nurse Diesel.
Soren loves Nurse Diesel.
Those who are tardy do not get fruit cup.
Jensen Henson says that's awesome, Ben.
You have your Cloris Leachman, and as you guys know, these two are huge Mary Tyler Moore fans. Like, well, Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore are just huge for you too.
Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah,
it just
we can talk about that another time.
That would be another one. So
Ben and I could actually do a separate live stream just talking television.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But so we'll move on from that.
Yeah, we don't need to bore our people.
Okay.
So now I'm going to some shows at California Adventure that I kind of mourn, or that they were cool.
I'm sorry, I've got to.
Yeah, so
I got a question here.
Chit chat for people.
Touring the Galaxy asks, "Who's this legend, Keith the Tree?" Okay, so for those of you that don't know, our channel's name is Pepper Tree Villa, and we have a pepper tree in our yard, and his name is Keith. And
right there.
Yeah, right over this way, over here in our
I'll
yard.
bring up a branch so you guys can see that it's an actual real tree. It's all over California, and especially Disneyland. Huge all over Disneyland.
But I dropped a video earlier this week explaining the origins of our name and also explaining Keith the Pepper Tree. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to view it, go ahead and give it a like and a comment on it, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, Keith has a personality, and he's grown, and we say hi to it. And we want to do a Twitter feed like, today I got a haircut, and today I'm molting, because there's like these little seeds that come off of it, and it gets everywhere and blows all over the place. But
Keith the Pepper Tree really would make a great
subject
for a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Today I got trimmed.
Yeah, Donna Jaworski, thank you. She says Keith is amazing.
Yeah, Keith has we really have
Keith is getting a cult following.
And Keith attacked me while I mowed the lawn because they lacy things. And it's such a Disneyland. So yeah, we can go about Keith, and he's huge. He's just grown. And the story has it, it was a stick in a 5-gallon bucket. And we had it on the side of the house where the garbage cans is, and we bungee corded it because it kept on falling over. And then it died. And then you watered it, and then it died. And we didn't put it in the ground. We got it in February, and we didn't put it in the ground until July of 2009.
Yeah, that's when our brother Keith.
And I said, let's just get rid of this thing. It's dead. It's not gonna. It was a stick. It was graft. It was it was hideous. It literally died like a couple of times.
It didn't die. It was just dormant.
It was dead. And the sucker was dead. And I'm tired of picking it over. It would fall over, would lose all of its dirt. It was a root ball. It had no more dirt. We kept on bungee cording it. And finally we put it in the ground and it was a stick. And it was a stick for 2 or 3 years.
Tour the Galaxy is asking what kind of pepper tree. He's a California pepper tree, which is native to the state of California.
And it literally smells like black peppercorns.
It smells like pepper.
It smells
when
like
you walk
pepper.
by it.
It
But,
literally smells like black pepper.
But sadly, the peppercorns that come off the tree are not edible.
No, they're little they're little berries. So once it goes into it, and then it gets covered by bees all over when it starts blooming, it's little berries.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the tree actually starts buzzing.
But even though Doug says that Keith was dead, he wasn't. He was just dormant.
And when he had no soil in the bucket,
there was soil in the bucket. Yeah,
it kept on falling over.
Well, yeah, it did. It was very windy. It's very windy where we live here in the East Bay of California, in San Francisco Bay Area. But yeah, the
tenacity.
The tree was determined to survive. Keith is not a quitter.
No, he got a lot of abuse. We put him in the ground. And 10.5 years later, the trunk is like this huge. It's huge.
Yes, HAC, the Keith started as a stick.
It was a stick. It was graft. And we laugh about that tree. And then it grew, and he never wanted to trim it.
Touring the Galaxy says Keith is going to be a meme in 2020.
Yeah, it is. But that's why the little leaf that you see, I'm a graphic designer. So when we created it, we needed a moniker or a logo mark. And we wanted to do something. So I went and I actually picked a leaf that had the branches. I scanned it into the computer. I redrew it in Illustrator. And that's what you see. But that's exactly the leaf that I redrew.
Oh, no.
Just the leaves.
Touring the Galaxy says that pepper equals a trip to the ER. So, yeah, we don't like that.
No,
that's not a good thing.
But it does. It really, when it starts blooming, you're standing by it. It smells like black pepper. But they grow really fast. They're native. Disney uses on the tram ride, and it covers up a lot. It's great camouflage, too.
I've also seen photos of the entrance of Disney California Adventure, and off to the left of the entrance, you'll see California pepper trees growing up behind the area. It's really nice.
Yeah, they use that.
They're beautiful trees.
Okay, so we're getting down a tree thing. So California Adventure. Yeah, these tangents are a really great thing. I mourn. You never got to see it. I got to see it. It was only a very, very short period of time. It was a cool show. Luminaria and the holiday of 2001. It was the year the park opened. They had their holiday show, and kids could draw these pictures. They project up on these giant packages that come up, and it was a beautiful show. Great soundtrack. I have the channel soundtrack. I listen to it every Christmas. And Luminaria, we went to take it, and they canceled it the day you and I went to see it.
I was supposed to see Luminaria. It was a one season only Christmas show that they ran at California Adventure, but sadly they used a lot of pyrotechnics, and the area of Paradise Bay in the backside of the park acts almost like a bowl, and so the wind just doesn't blow through there too much at that time of year, and so the smoke would just sit and a haze would start, and
because they used a lot of pyrotechnics,
people would choke and get very asthma attacks and things like that, so they had to cancel it.
It was a beautiful show. It was that's an extinct thing. Lion King Parade, and then at the Hyperion, I loved when they didn't do Blast. Blast is a show that a bunch of drummers and everything. They had that. I love that.
Yeah, it was like a drum line. They had a lot of brass and things. It was
beautiful.
Show didn't run very long.
They ran along, and then they put in Aladdin, and I mourn Aladdin. And
hey, Explosive Phoenix, thank you so much. Appreciate you chatting, tweeting out that stream for us. Thank you. Let's see.
So that's my DCA Disneyland extincts. You said you were going to surprise me. What are your extincts?
Well, we've already discussed the People Mover.
Yes.
And
Skyway.
One that's on my list is one that most people have never seen. It's called Adventure Through Inner Space. It was an attraction that was sponsored by Monsanto, opened with the new Tomorrowland in 1967, ran for almost 20 years in Tomorrowland. And the distinction here was that it was a free attraction because of Monsanto's sponsorship of the attraction, you did not need to spend a ticket or, like an E ticket or a D ticket.
Yeah, it was always.
Yeah, because Adventure Through Inner Space was only around pretty much through the era of ticket books, Disneyland.
Well, when did it go away? Well, it's Star Tours.
Oh, Jelly's Journeys Loves Blessed. Thanks.
I love Blast. I thought it was fun. I bought the CD there. I loved it.
Adventures Through Inner Space went away in the mid '80s to make way for Star Tours.
Yeah,
but it was free all the way up until passes came in '83,
about
right?
82.
283.
When Epcot opened, they were eliminating the tickets everywhere.
And then everybody you bought one pass. It's all you can eat ticket. You can go on and anything and everything. So even after that, if it went down in 80. I think it was down in 87 because when I went in 87, there was no Monsanto. So it was probably already down by then because they were building Star Tours because Star Tours opened in 89?
No, 89 was Splash Mountain.
Star Tours opened about
87.
85, 86, and or 87.
No, because it wasn't there when I was in 87.
It was also...
Oh my God, we don't know our dates.
There was also Captain EO that had opened.
Yeah, I remember Captain EO.
It took a while to get Captain EO to the West Coast. It started in... did it start in Florida first?
Epcot
I think
for only a few
it was Epcot, and then they finally got it to California inside Disneyland at Tomorrowland.
No, it was open in Epcot first because of the over-the-top.
Right.
No, and Disneyland first because it was the opening of it.
They also had Magic Journeys. Anyone remember that movie? I liked that movie. It just showed off the 3D features. It was really cool. And that started out at Epcot, and then they moved it to Magic Kingdom for a while before the Lion King opened up.
Yeah, we'll get our dates straight. I thought the very first opening of it, I think.
Okay, I've got a few things here. Explosive Phoenix wants to see the People Mover return to Tomorrowland. Yes, I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's all these California codes and things like that they'd have to fix. And
I just think because the way the guest believes in things now, we want splash and substance and over the top, and that's what we're going to be seeing in Galaxy's Edge, which I call Star Wars Land. This really technical, high-end, just so over the top wow factor that a little cheesy little ride going around, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just the infrastructure. They just need to gut that whole area, keep Space Mountain, get rid of everything, and then start from scratch.
AJC is talking about Body Wars. And the
next
Wonders of Life Pavilion.
Okay, so
AJC, yeah, absolutely.
It made me sick.
Yeah, Doug got nauseous on it when he went. When I went on it, I absolutely loved it.
So that was
great.
That's played
great fun.
You went on. I was trying to get rid of Disneyland and California Adventure, and then I was going to work our way over to the other side of the continent and go to Florida. But Extinct, you did the molecules, magicals and molecules. What else did you go and Extinct that?
Oh my goodness!
So you're supposed to make your list like you told me to do.
Well, the thing is that we hit a lot of them here.
Oh, okay. So
Country Bears, People Mover, Rocket Rods, Skyway, and then Superstore Limo. No one would really think anything of it, but when California Adventure opened, they were so desperate for attractions that they actually had this area called Bountiful Farm. And they had a John Deere tractor set up that you could climb up and sit in the tractor. That was actually listed as an attraction on the park maps. And I was shocked and appalled that they actually considered a John Deere tractor an attraction.
Yeah.
Well, consider the source, though, that back in when they had developed DCA.
Hey, Cargo 619, thanks for joining. Really appreciate you being here.
They developed the whole area there with the new hotel, the Grand Californian, Downtown Disney, and California Adventure, and the whole expansion cost them $1.4 billion, and only $600 million was spent to build the theme park, whereas the rest of it was used to build the hotel and the shopping district. Yeah. Now, if you really think about it, that wasn't a whole lot of money, especially since they're putting in, I think it's at a cost of $1 billion to expand Star Wars Land.
Something like that.
They're not saying it, but
It
it's
was
huge.
It's hundreds of millions to do that.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. When they did the expansion of Indiana Jones in '95, which is the last e-ticket that was put in at Disneyland, if you can imagine that, it's almost 25 years.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's so sad. 25 years went by before they have decided to open another e-ticket attraction in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, it's to get some. That was over 500,000. That was 500 million. That just had that. And there's this whole bunch of stories that we heard of how that was supposed to be from some of our friends. Okay, so let's move our way over to Florida. I haven't huffed over the Florida
wait,
that
wait.
much.
No.
You have Extinct been?
America Sings.
America Sings.
Oh,
and for that matter, Carousel Progress. Carousel Progress opened in 1967.
Yes.
As part of the new Tomorrowland.
Yes.
They moved it from the World's Fair and put it in Disneyland, and then GE, the sponsors, wanted it moved to Florida, so they took it and moved it to Florida, vacated the theater, and created another attraction, which was a Mark Davis original, America Sings, and that in itself was also a great attraction. And then it was gutted to use the animatronics in that for the queue of Star Tours, and then most of them went into Splash Mountain, which is why you see there was this one scene in America Sings that had these two vultures, and they sang a song about Billy the Kid, but they wore top hats and things. They looked like undertakers. And now, of course, those are the ones that are at the bottom of the hill just before you climb the hill and then fall into the Briar Patch on Splash Mountain. But they were repurposed for Splash Mountain. All of them were. The only ones that were new apparently were Brer Bear, Brer Fox, and Brer Rabbit.
There was talk about repurposing, that we need to recycle. That was a really good choice.
Jelly says Carousel Progress is a great nap spot. I have a personal attachment to Carousel Progress, so I have a very hard time taking a nap in there, but I understand what you're saying, Jelly.
Yeah, there's a lot of those off places. So Carousel Progress, America Sings, those were... Yeah, I can't tell you much about them because America Sing was already gone because they were building Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even get to go on the train in 1987 because the train was down because of this whole Splash Mountain getting built in the summer of 1987. So sad. And I didn't get to do it until 91, I think, is when I first got onto the Disneyland Railroad.
Oh, AJC, he says that he loved the Indiana Jones ride. Yeah, me too. Really loved it. I just love that attraction.
Ben, are we missing any Disneyland Extinct that you kind of mourn or goodbye, good riddance?
I mainly just mourn America Sings because as a kid, I always wanted to work that attraction.
That's right. You did say that.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But because of the music.
If we go to Florida,
oh yeah.
If we go to Florida and go to the parks there are so many attractions that are now extinct. But I'd say for me, my favorite one on the Florida property would have to be Horizons.
I never got to go on Horizons.
I miss Horizons so much. Mission Space is great. It's an exciting attraction. It's fun, but it's not Horizons.
It's just another thrill of, just to get in there to get the thrill of screens and centrifuge.
Turn the Galaxy, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate I guess they're going to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Good night from PTV.
It is, it's 8 o'clock here on the Pacific Ocean coast. But for Florida, you were saying you missed Horizons.
Yeah, Horizons.
That was
definitely miss Horizons. And I never got to see the World of Motion.
No, I never got to do the motion either.
And I saw the Universe of Energy and then also Ellen's Energy Adventure. I liked both of those. But
they were really, really, really dated.
They were very long.
And very dated.
I mean, if you went on Ellen's Energy Adventure, that was a time commitment.
Yeah.
45 minutes of an attraction.
You wanted to get that. That one is definitely extinct. Maelstrom is another one that is extinct that I haven't been on Frozen yet, but it was cool. I miss Maelstrom. I think just knowing that it's gone. but I'm not a fan of it. So I didn't get more when they said they were going to get rid of it. So that's my Walt Disney World. And the other one that I put for Walt Disney World is Alien Encounter, which went to Stitch's Extreme Escape.
Yeah.
I hated Alien Encounter because the twice that I went on it, none of the things worked around me. So everybody's screaming and lights are flashing, and I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? And I'm like, this thing was so stupid. It was, to me, it was gratuitous. It was loud. It was flashy.
Ben, did you like Alien Encounter?
I went on that almost 25 years ago, and I really don't remember it. For me, it was that memorable.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I did twice, and nothing was happening, and people like, oh, it was so scary. Like, I thought it was stupid.
Alien Encounter was fun, actually. I remember I took my mom, and my mom at the time was in her 60s, and there were times that I had to keep up with her because she was just running to get to the next attraction. She was having so much fun. And when we got into Alien Encounter, I've never heard her scream and giggle so much. She loved that attraction.
No, I didn't get it. I just was like,
for a lot of people, I know it's just love it or hate it, and
it's a tissue. You blow it, you blow your nose, and you just throw it away. That's what to me is, I think, Alien Encounter. It's like, doesn't have the wow factor, the emotional thing of like, I need to go in Haunted Mansion 400 times when I'm there. That's what Haunted Mansion does.
Jensen Henson didn't like Alien Encounter. AJC never let, it freaked him out. Did not let the bars come all the way down. Yeah.
You had to have, I guess, just right, just height and just everything.
Arvin, yeah. I have a lot of cute memories with my mom like that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
We have a lot of
that was a lot of fun.
We have a lot of parody. So that's my list of heroes. Yeah, I even wrote it and thought about it.
I would say Maelstrom for me is definitely
an
attraction that I really missed.
creative.
It was great. I mean, when the boat would go down backward and you'd end up also going forward, and then around the North Arctic, it was just kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It was just really chilling to see those. Oh, and the puffins.
The puffins,
yeah.
Repurposed. But magic, anything in Walt Disney World that extinct that I can think of. I mean, I haven't been there, a lot, but
I only went once, and that was in 1996 for the 25th anniversary.
AJ's thinking the North Sea.
To go back.
Yeah, well, it's all in due time. But that's about my extinct that I know of, and I can. Some of it is still in existence to this day, which I can get my fix. If I go to the Magic Kingdom first, the first thing I will ever do probably will get our People Mover and our Carousel Progress fixed.
Yeah, we head over.
And then I'll go do this whole thing about this mine train of Snow White and dwarfs. I gotta find out why everybody is goo goo gaga over this attraction. I do want to go in it.
Jelly saying food rocks.
Yes, Food Rocks, and then the other one after it.
No, the
Kitchen Cabaret
was before.
Yeah.
Remember veggie fruit. Yeah.
Veggie,
So
fruit,
no, it's
veggie fruit.
So yeah, we have I forgot to put the kitchen or the Food Rocks. That needed to be in there. The Circle of Life Lion King show is now extinct. That's also in the Land Pavilion.
Oh yeah.
I did some stuff before they rethemed it with all this wonderful IP.
Jelly doesn't like having super loud speakers at her head, so yeah, I can understand that.
Well, and some of the attraction vehicles is off the side, or when you're in Screaming or Incredicoaster now, or Space Mountain at Disneyland, they have speakers, but they're not screaming and it's not loud, and it did nothing for me.
Okay, Lonnie keeps going on about how much he misses Mr. Toad.
Well, we don't have that problem, so I could see where you're mourning over there, and they did have a very good one there.
Yeah, well, it was actually even 2 tracks.
It was, and they kind of intertwined.
It was great because you could actually almost run into other cars.
Yeah, so I know I could see where that is actually one of my all-time favorite. But here in California, we have it. We don't have that problem, so it's not extinct. But in Florida, extinct. But there's stuff in Florida that Disneyland is extinct. So that's why it's hard to.
Stormy Candosi is saying, "I wonder if kids will be able to smash Kylo Ren helmets in Star Wars Land."
Smash helmets.
Yeah, just like at the end of Return of the Jedi, and you see all the Ewoks on their planet, and they're smashing the heads of all the stormtroopers. It's in the movie.
Oh gosh, I don't. I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm not. I like Star Wars, but
Oh, Jelly is saying that there was a show at MGM with Drew Carey. Was that that was the radio show, wasn't it? Where they would actually turn off the lights too, and you'd have speakers, you'd have your headphones on, and you'd hear what was going on for sound effects.
oh, okay. Now at MGM, I mourn where you can walk through the animation thing because I saw all the props for the real life Glenn Close.
I remember that.
Yeah, I
seeing all the
drew
Dalmatians.
there. There was the drawing there. The animation studio area was incredible, but now it's
Yeah, I loved the Disney Art of Animation. That was a great attraction. That was fantastic.
So a lot of gutted is MGM Studios, which I'll still call it MGM Studios because
there's one attraction that I can think of at Animal Kingdom that you got on that I never got to experience, and that was that boat ride.
Oh yes, I went 6 months after the park opened, and I did go on it, and I was alone at the time, and so do I remember much of it? It's just a boat ride. We just kind of a little around the river. Very short run. I think it was only on for like barely a year, but I did go on the boat ride that went around the Oasis, and I do remember that there was that fire with that fire.
Oh, the dragon, the dragon was breathing fire.
But you had to. It was not memorable, and it was a very short period. So
okay, AJ Magic is also talking about a Pocahontas show. I remember that they had in Disneyland. It was the Fantasyland Theater. They had the Spirit of Pocahontas, and then they also converted a store in Frontierland into the Spirit of Pocahontas, so that they sold merch for the movie at that time. Look at that. Jelly says that she liked the Art of Animation. Got my first glimpse of Lilo and Stitch.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that too. I loved that. I got to see that early on. It was like 99 that they were doing that. 2000. Then 2002, you and I went in October because we were there for Epcot's 20th anniversary.
Right. And then I was there in 98 or something. They were working on this thing called The Emperor Has No Clothes.
Yeah, definitely, Amy. Yeah, definitely, Amy. Great movie ride, the Backlot Tour. The Backlot Tour with Catastrophe Canyon.
Yep, the Backlot Tour.
And then also being able to see the New York Street and the Golden Girls house. I liked that. It was a lot of fun.
Osborne Lights. I never got to experience that. That's, I think, my Magic Kingdom or my Walt Disney World. I can't think of anything else.
Well, I can think of a lot of other things, but I think we should probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah,
it's after 8 o'clock here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So,
Ben,
okay.
do you have any other extinct that we forgot?
Oh, Donna's saying, anyone remember Hunchback of Notre Dame? I remember there were two shows. One was in California in a theater, kind of like in the round almost, in Frontierland. And then they had a Hunchback show that lasted like 2 years there.
Oh, the Festival of the Hunchback.
Yeah, it was the Festival Arena.
Festival of Fools.
Yeah, the Festival of Fools. And then they had a show at the studios. I remember a big bell on stage that Quasimodo would ring.
And they used the Festival of Fools for the 50th anniversary of Disneyland, where you went back to get all your merch, and they were giving cake back there. That's all I know.
Oh, and then here Cargo also says that Disney Stars and Motor Cars parade at Disney MGM. I liked that parade.
I love the whole Millennium event. We can talk about events. Well, obviously, events are they're going to go extinct. But
for the record, just pay attention closely to other videos that are coming. We are working on some Throwback Thursday videos, especially from Florida. When Doug and I went to Disney World Resort in 2002, I had my new video camera, and it was a Sony. Had those little mini DV tapes, digital video tapes.
Mm.
So we're working on digitizing all that, and I'll be putting some videos together on the channel. So keep a watch out on our channel. We'll have those things coming on Throwback Thursdays.
We're actually
in
doing
the
it as we
future.
speak. I'm wondering if the tape is finished, the one I put through. Because we need to crank through these tapes.
See,
and
Donna also likes the Motor Stars Parade. I guess that's what it's the Motor
yeah,
Cars.
I just
It was a great parade.
digitized it to this afternoon. And yeah.
Oh, another parade that we also just found was one that was for the Millennium event, but it was after the Millennium, after the remodel that they did for that parade, and then it was like the
Tapestries
the
of Dreams.
the Dream Finder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tapestry of Dreams
I was playing
in
that
2002.
this
So
afternoon.
that one's been digitized. We'll be uploading that to our channel on a Throwback Thursday. And by the way, if those of you that aren't following us, we are on social media at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of them, Pepper Tree Villa. If you find us on Instagram, you'll see this month I am featuring every day a different license plate from the Disney resorts from all over the world. I have some license plates coming from Paris, as well as Florida and California. So you just be paying attention to those.
Our garage has a whole wall of nothing but license plates of the past.
Who's Constance Payne from the Disney MGM Studios?
She was a gossip columnist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very funny. Oh, more sunshine, please. Thank you for joining the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just in case you didn't hear that, Jim, where our burps have also been sponsored by D&G Explorers, apparently. So
I gotta find out why Derek and Gregory are such immortalized in bodily functions. I gotta find that out a little bit later. So hey, we all have our thing. We're well known for. But that's it. Ben, do you want to add anything, or do you? I mean, I guess we could just summarize it. You know, are we one of those that are into progress land, or do we want to turn Disneyland into a museum, or Walt Disney World into a museum where we don't want things to move? Do we believe in that? I mean, things come and go. Life has its everything has a life, and how much we like things to stay forever, it's not possible. But are you one of those that you like to? Are you like looking forward to the future and seeing more?
My thought is that everything has a shelf life, and things that have been around for 50 years or more are great, but if they can be refreshed, like Pirates of the Caribbean was rethought about after the movie franchise came out, you added Jack Sparrow to the mix. It's a Small World. They added the random Disney characters in the countries where they were represented. Lots of different things happen that refreshed things. And like the Matterhorn, they added Harold 20 plus years after the ride opened.
Yeah, it's true. Deer Park Farmstead, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. You've been very supportive, and yeah, keep up the great work with supporting other YouTube channels. And for that matter, for those of you that are watching, if you're there and you see anyone there, go ahead and follow and subscribe to their channels. We've got a great community here. Really appreciate it. And for those of you that don't know, we like to call all of our followers villagers, which is well, we just got the word from villa and then just added jers, so villagers. So
Villa's the place. That's what
You're so original.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, when he kept on humoring me, I'm like, villa is a house. It's a place. It's in Italy. It's jers. Okay.
I had a chat with Zippity Doodad offline, and he's been trying to come up with an idea of what to call people that follow him on his channel.
Oh, zippers?
Yeah, zippers is one. I came up with also calling them doodads, but we're not quite sure on what we're settling in on there. But Patrick, we're going to be helping you out with that one. See if we can't get a good name for you. So we're doing our research, and I'm brainstorming.
So yeah, I believe we should move on. I mean, there's stuff I hate to see go, but again, everything does have a shelf life, and things get dated and sad and needs to go.
Zippity says thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then we also have Explosive Phoenix, who's asking, can you share where you got the license plates from? Okay.
Don't they all have
plain
a
and
story?
simple. Since I've been going to Disneyland and now Florida as well, Disneyland since the 60s, And Florida, my first trip was 96, and I've been several times since then. But Disneyland, hundreds of times. I honestly don't know how many times.
Oh, I should do the story behind what we do.
But
where is it?
as far as the license plates, we have a whole collection of them on the wall in the garage.
Okay, I gotta show this one.
Oh, Doug is going to show one thing. Okay,
I got it.
Anyway, the license plates used to be sold in the parks. And so it would just be like any keychain or button that you would buy or any pin. I would buy license plates. And so I have amassed a collection of over 30 of them. And for those of you that, for those I didn't get in the parks, I actually bought them on eBay. So I don't know if people are still selling them there. They might be. But we collect a lot of Disney stuff. You can even see back here, that red car right here. That's the red car trolley from Disney California Adventure. There we go. That's better. And then up above there is, I think that is, yeah, that's the Haunted Mansion. It's a Olszewski. It's an Olszewski miniature model of it. So we do a lot of collecting.
Okay, I found it.
Oh,
we all have weird things we do. And my weird thing that I do is every single time I've gone to Disneyland and we parked, because we're annual pass holders. Every day I've gone, I've kept the parking stub. And if there was a day that we had not did it, I put a piece of paper in there saying that I still went to that day as a placeholder, and I made a faux parking pass. But these are every single time I've gone to Disneyland, and I haven't missed a beat. From my very first one is July 15th, 2000. And then it has an annual pass holder. See if you can see these. I have every single one of every single time of going there. And I've been doing this religiously on purpose. And he helps me saying, well, did you get the pass? Do we keep them? And each trip we go, we keep every single parking. So I could tell you.
Cargo says that's cool.
I could tell you which time when we went. And when we arrived on October 30th, 2005, I mean, every single, and we keep these. And I've been doing this since the beginning of 2000s for almost 19 years. I've been keeping it up and not missing a beat. And Ben, you've been helping out too. So I have them all. So we have little things.
According to Cargo 619, she has seen some license plates at Epcot. So I guess they're still selling them. Who knew? We didn't, obviously.
Okay.
So thank you for answering your question on that one.
The evilness is eBay. Everything is on eBay, and I could type in Epcot license plate.
Oh, and Jim of More Sunshine, Please. He says, Pepper Tree Villa, I'll post my answer video to the 18 Disney questions in the morning. Thanks again for tagging me. Absolutely. You're very welcome. We had a fun time answering those on our live stream last week. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, we should probably start.
Yeah, we should
wrap
sign
this
up.
We should wrap this blessing up. Everyone, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much.
We enjoy doing this.
For following us on social media, following us on YouTube. We really appreciate you being here, and we couldn't do this without you. And we really appreciate all the interaction and the chat. You really make us think about things. You really help us out. And
we don't feel like loners either. Like we're the only ones that are big fans out there that are actually into this.
I have one more request. And if you think about it and you think of an extinct attraction, you have a picture of it, post it to Twitter or Instagram. And when you do, please tag it, #PTV Disney. That way we'll see it and we'll make comments of it and we'll bring it up on next week's stream.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a real good solid format here. Jim does a great job with a great format on More Sunshine, Please. And by the way, if you have not followed his channel, please do so. He does some great content, everything. Actually, everyone in the stream. Donna, yeah, great. Jellies, thank you. Zippity, fantastic.
He tells me this, Oliver. It's called divide and conquer. So, one person kind of manages that. And he tells me, these people say this.
Yeah, I follow a lot. I do a lot of the Instagram and Twitter. And Doug does a lot of the listening to me about it.
Well, I'll do the more of the food part of it. I finally got it because it's like, why should two people do it? Who are you? I'm this person, but I thought I was talking to this person. Well, what are you talking about? Well, I said it to this person. I didn't know you were with him. So it's just like you deal with that part.
If you have any suggestions for any other future episodes of our live stream, I'd be more than happy to hear you. Just go ahead and direct message me on either Instagram or Twitter, and we can talk about it. And we'd also even like to have some people join us sometime on one of our weekly streams. So I'll be reaching out. It'd be great.
There's Ben.
It would be
you got to talk, Ben.
Okay. What should I talk about?
Well, you were waving, and I was just saying you got to say goodbye.
Oh,
we got to shut up.
Bye, villagers.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching us. And gosh, we just can't do it without you. We love all of you. It's just so meaningful being able to have a great community like this.
We like sharing this kind of stuff. I mean, who appreciates my stack of who does things like this? And I keep every single guide too. I have a book, a box of every single of the guides every time we go. Every day.
Cargo 619 wants us to do a live stream making Keith a cake.
I'm gonna bring a piece of Keith in, saying "Brought to you by Keith," and show up a branch.
But
I can go get a branch of him right now.
A future stream that we will be doing is probably a cooking and or baking demonstration. We will do that sometime, but we'll make sure that that's announced because we can't just.
The Yum was brought to you by.
I don't know. More sunshine, please.
I guess so.
Okay, all yawns are sponsored by More Sunshine Please on our channel. So we'll mark that and we'll make sure that that's known. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. And we have 3 tags that we use in all of our digital media. And the first one is life is too short to eat bad food. And that is so true. That's why we're creating recipes and baking goodies and things. And we want to share those recipes. And we will be posting those recipes on our website, peppertreevilla.com. I'm in the midst of building it. If you look at it, you'll see some weird pictures and a weird, an odd placement of a woman named Sophia. That's just a placeholder right now.
We're
working on it.
We're working on things.
Cargo 619 wants to sponsor Smiles. Okay. That smile was sponsored by Cargo 619. Okay.
Everybody, you have a good evening.
That was the one thing was life is too short. Another one is adventure is out there. And for this one, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Good night.
We'll see you later.